Through my ongoing journey with the gene keys and my profile, I've come to see that I have been placing myself in relationships, in situations, in circumstances, in jobs, in friendships, in partnerships that do not fit me, in a place where I'm really not a good match to serve. And so I've become really curious about my experience. My experience is unique, as is yours, as all of ours is. And I don't receive normal treatment. Sometimes I receive behaviors that are very out of the norm. And I've been really curious about that. I've been really in resistance to it. I've been really upset by it. I've been really trying to force things to be different, to be better, to be more like others. And I can see now that I have been trapped in shadow frequencies, in repeating patterns. And I have had a series of events, a series of short stories, personal experiences that I'm sharing here about how core stability is finding me, about how I am becoming through the dissolving of resistance that I'm doing with the gene keys. It just kind of magically sneaks in and starts to dissolve some of our blockages. And I have become aware that I have become more curious about observing what is happening rather than trying to fix, change, improve, correct, manage, manipulate what is happening. Instead of looking at the behavior I'm receiving and making the other wrong and trying to fix it, trying to make myself receive behavior more like others receive, I'm starting to notice what I'm receiving, and I'm starting to say there's a message here. And so today I have a story about the Reverend. This year, I've really spent some time looking at my activation sequence. I'm really curious about the interplay between those spheres and the pathways. And I've been wondering, had an open inquiry, what is core stability? And what would it look like for someone like me with my particular gene keys? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I don't find the gene keys to be particularly particular. They're not specific. Do this, don't do that. It's a feminine transmission. We are invited into awareness. We're invited to turn inward. And so I am. I happen to have gene key 38 in my purpose. It is the shadow band, the frequency of, struggle. I'm like, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. The gift of perseverance, and the siddhi, the highest expression of honor. I've recently been traveling on the Pearl retreat, and I have an open inquiry. When we anchor into our purpose, our brand naturally begins to express itself. How do I anchor into my purpose? How do I honor myself, you, and life? A few years ago, I had the burning desire to study Tai Chi, to learn Tai Chi. And so I began taking classes at the local Buddhist center. It has been marvelous. It has evolved into me learning the specific form that was taught, and I've started my own study of Chinese medicine, Qigong, and Tai Chi. I go to class now just about once a week, and I stand in a separate area. There's a line of tables and chairs. There's a really big area where the Tai Chi class happens, and then there's this row of tables and chairs and a separate smaller area where I like to go because I now have my own practice. And I don't like to be disruptive, but I do like to be in the energy of the room. And I am of service when I am there. I now have people I know there, people I look forward to seeing. And at about 40 minutes into class, I move over into the bigger area where I lead a smaller group of people. It's been really rewarding for both the participants and for me. And so last week or the week before, I showed up to my class and I was laying on the floor in that separate little area stretching, and I saw the Reverend walk in. I haven't seen him in about a month. We made eye contact and I said, "Good morning, Reverend." And he said, "There's plenty of room for you to do that over here." And then proceeded to push the tables and chairs on top of me and my belongings. I scrambled, I yelled, "Wait!" I got cut. And as soon as I was able to, I gathered my things and stood up from the floor. It wasn't easy for me to do. I have a number of injuries. I have been recovering from surgeries. But I got up, and when I got up, I was in such disbelief. I was shaking. My nervous system was in response. My heart was pounding. My breathing was shallow, and it was fast. And I could feel just this sense of disbelief. Like, how could a reverend of all people do that? What have I done to deserve such treatment? And how do I earn and prove my worth that I shouldn't be treated like that? How do I prove that there is space in this room for me? I felt not a competition and not an aggressive, but definitely a reaction within me that behavior deserved a response, and I have to show him he's wrong. I have to show him I deserve to be treated better. I have to prove I don't deserve that treatment. It's still a bit of a mess for me exactly what I was feeling, but I could tell, no, what I want to do is honor. I want to honor my nervous system that is now panicked, that now needs my attention, that now needs me to breathe and be with it. It does not matter what has happened. What matters now is that I honor my experience. And so I said my goodbyes and I left the room. I took myself to the arboretum. I sat amongst the trees and the birds and the flowers and the fragrant smell of the blooms and blossoms. And I moved. I did my own qigong practice. And as I was moving, I could sense such a familiarity with the energy that I had received from the Reverend when he walked into that room and his gaze met my gaze. I felt a transmission of energy as he said, there's plenty of room for you to be doing that over here. I felt what I feel a lot from my bosses, from my father, from anyone in a position who knows what should be happening right now. I know what needs to happen right now. You are in the way of what should be happening. Therefore, I have the ability to destroy you. I have the right to treat you poorly. And it kind of connects into an energy, a frequency that I've noticed within myself that I'm working to lighten and lessen, that striving, that very masculine energy that we are up to something at all costs. It will be accomplished. Now, I do not mean to accuse the Reverend of this, and I certainly am not blaming anyone of anything. I'm not right about any of this. This is my current experience, my current understanding, and my current appreciation for this amazing core stability that has snuck up on me. And as I moved with my qigong, I was releasing that energy from me. Where is it within me? I wish to release it. And as I moved my body in nature, I just could sense that I had been so different than I had ever been before. Maybe honor feels like recognizing my own experience and responding to it. Maybe honor looks like no longer fighting to be in a space where I've been asked to leave. Maybe honor looks like no longer trying to earn my worth, trying to be seen. by someone who might not be in a position to see me. Maybe honor looks like leaving what I thought I wanted in order to do what I really needed. And then I also just wonder, if I keep honoring myself and my genuine responses to things without struggling to fit in, struggling to change anything, I wonder, maybe I will be led to the places where I do fit in, the places where I am a really good match. And then, of course, there is one final piece of all of this. When I share this story, it's a piece that I'm not even really looking at, but I've been asked about it. A reverend? How could he? Oh my gosh, a reverend. Why do you think? How do you think? And I don't think. Here's what I now know and live in my life and for my life. And this is something that is revolutionizing my life. I am being reborn into a new experience. I can only receive what I am being. I am an energetic frequency. We are nothing but light, and that light is emitting an energetic frequency. It is resonating out into the world, attracting thought, attracting belief, attracting responses, attracting my behavior. It is attracting the experiences that come to me. It is attracting you. It is attracting the people who enter my life today, the people who leave my life today. So what I know to be true for myself is that I attracted that behavior, that he could not have treated me any way that I was not already an energetic match for. I have no blame for the Reverend. I do not need to change his behavior, and I do not need to talk about him. I don't need to change him, and I do not need to address anything with him. For me, I am complete and I am clear. He is released. I don't feel any connection with him about this experience. He does not need to apologize. I don't need an apology. What I need to do is leave. What I need to do is recognize that I have some dissonance, some disruption in my frequency with that center, maybe that religion, maybe, and it's bigger. See, for me, it's bigger than just one little experience. And I drop all attachment to the actual experience and open up to the wider meaning to it. I am in an ongoing inquiry. Show me how I honor myself. Show me how I deeply connect to the frequency of perseverance in the direction of my desires, in the direction of honoring my uniqueness. I thank you so much for listening to these intimate audios. I really hope that you hear something useful, valuable, enjoyable. And I wonder if you have any reflections, if as you listen, something is being awoken within you. And I invite you to please share, please say hello, connect with me on social media, respond wherever you captured this. And please check the show notes for ways to join the intimacy circle and moving meditations and quantum painting, which are offers that come and they go, they ebb, they flow, along with the cycles of our unique nature. You can also join my email list for even more ways to connect. I am sending you so much love and wishing you such a happy life.